Probably the saddest thing about all this natural disaster and these wildfires in California is that so many people don't have insurance on their homes. California insurance companies have been slowly pulling out of California because it's not enough profit for them. They're losing too much money by having to pay to people to rebuild their homes. Pretty sick, right? I get it. You got profit margins, but like, you're also an insurance company and you guys make billions of dollars. It's just the level of greed is insane. So, you know, like, I witnessed people during the campfire, the fires in Calistoga. There wasn't enough people to even rebuild. Even if you had the money to rebuild, there wasn't enough builders or materials. And then the price of materials was getting so out of hand because there's such a demand for it. So, like, buying wood in California was like triple the price of other places. And I just remember, like, I just feel so bad for all these people that have lost everything. And let's just say a prayer for California. Like, oh man, I can't imagine what y'all are going through right now.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Listen, everybody who keeps bringing up insurance while people are on fucking fire in California, you need to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down, because flat out, point blank period, you are wrong. Wrong. You are wrong. Slam poetry style, okay? And this is coming from somebody who did all of the classes and everything. The only thing I didn't do is actually take the state test because I went into labor that day with my son, so a little bit busy. But I literally have done everything aside from the state test for for life, retirement, and investment insurance. And then for the entirety of last year, I worked in home and auto insurance in a brokerage, okay? We were a national brokerage. We covered everywhere except for Hawaii and Alaska because they have really specific laws. And y'all being out here like these people should have had better insurance or they should have renewed their coverages. They didn't get that opportunity. Let me run it back real quick. Okay, so last year, March, April, when I'm there, we start getting all of these notices just before a lot of what? I don't know. Fire season? Is that possibly what's going? It was sent out right before fire season to us, not the customers, to us, that 80 to 90% of the companies that we worked with over 50, were pulling out of California, Oregon, pretty much anywhere over there that bursts into flames. That leaves you with maybe 2 options, 3. Also, right before hurricane season, pulling out of Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, all of that, because you flood. Because they don't want to pay out. So anybody who was about to renew in that period got a non-renew notice, and then a lot of them can't even get a new one because they know that shit's coming in. Whole companies, pretty much all of them, will put blocks on that area and not allow you to write new policies for them until they decide. It is called a mortuum. I can't remember how to say it. It starts with an M. Literally, whenever Hurricane Helene was hitting, we were having people weeks beforehand call in trying to get new insurance. We couldn't write them shit because there were blocks. So even if these people got a 2-3 months notice, they call in, hey, guess what? There's a block on your area. We can't write you shit. You're going to have to look elsewhere. But how are they going to look elsewhere when 80 to 90% of all the companies have pulled out? You got what? 1 option, 2 if you're fucking lucky. And then they don't have to send out that notice 2 to 3 months in advance. They don't. It's state law. Your state says that it only has to be postmarked 2 weeks before cancellation date. Guess what? That's when they're sending it. They literally don't give a shit. Whenever Hurricane Helene happened, we were getting calls from people to try to verify their insurance that were finding out that days before the hurricane hit, they had gotten non-renewed or canceled. But because there was a fucking hurricane, who is out running mail? Are we in kayaks in the middle of a hurricane? No, we're not, because that's not how it fucking works. So most of these people don't even know. So that happens. And then if they do decide to start shopping around and taking a little peeky look around for a new policy or something, guess what? Now you have a lapse. Now that new company is going to charge you through the fucking roof like you were going to run in all problems. And then 3 weeks after you secure your policy, underwriting's going to look at your shit and be like, actually, fuck those hoes. And revoke the whole thing. It is a scam. It's a scam. And what's even crazier is half of these companies don't have any money. One of the last things I had to deal with whenever I was there was that a fucking company in New York, started with an A, literally was sending out notices to us and its customers saying like, hey, thanks for being our customer. Unfortunately, we're fucking broke. You should probably find new coverage, because if a covered incident were to happen to your home, we're probably not going to be able to pay you for it. So figure it out. These people are not at fault. It's a fucking scam. Our whole system over here is the Cybertruck of the world. Shit just bursts into flames and falls apart for no fucking reason.
So let's get this right. There's no water in our fire hydrants. There is now 5 different fires in the Los Angeles County. President Biden is in town for this. Fire insurance companies were canceled a couple months ago. Firefighters are stretched so thin that at this point it's uncontainable and they're just letting it burn with gusts up to 100 miles per hour. Some of the most famous and richest people's houses are burned to ashes. Pacific Palisades is almost at 12,000 acres. The Eaton fire is now at 11,000 acres. The Los Angeles Fire Department is calling all resources to come and help because it is uncontainable and they are stretched so incredibly thin. Newsom did just sign a state of an emergency. I see so many controversial things saying that the fire department failed because when the fire started, the wind wasn't there, the wind barely picked up, yada, yada, yada. And now it is spreading 3 football fields per minute, which that's crazy. All I'm saying is if you're in a red zone, mainly all of Los Angeles is in a red zone, maybe you guys should gather your things, you know, get ready, prepare to leave just to be safe. Water the top of your house, the stuff outside. There is someone that is in Pacific Palisades and she was saving her mother's home. They were 90 years old. It's all over the news. She did sneak in. She has been watering it. I haven't heard an update of her yet, so hopefully she does update us. She said, go ahead and take me to jail if that's the case, but I'm here to try to save as much as I can of my parents' things. For California, we're known for wildfires, but this type of wildfire, and as many as there is, and the gust, as powerful as it is, it's just apocalyptic like they're saying. So be safe.
So I thought I was safe from the Palisades fire, but a new fire has just broken out by Runyon Canyon, and that's way closer to me. And I don't know if I should evacuate or not. Nobody is safe in LA at this point. And I just got off the phone with an old friend who used to be a firefighter to get his take, and he was saying that the concept of fire season is a heavily marketed concept to Californians, and we've just over the years gotten used to the idea of fire season, and fires just happen, you know, when the Santa Ana's hit, and we've been ingrained to believe that when the weather's dry, that we should just expect fires. And he made the point that, like, it's January, it's cold, like, fires wouldn't be happening naturally. And fire seasons don't exist anywhere in the world except for California. And why is that? He was like, think about who benefits financially from all these fires. Fire season is a big business in California.
Our 4th LA fire is upon us in Runyon Canyon. And it just made me wonder, not to be mean, not to put light of a situation, but like, were we not prepared for fires? We don't have hurricanes. We don't have tornadoes. We don't have sharks coming down from the sky. Like, our thing is earthquakes and fires. So why are there 4 fires and 2 of them just has like 10% contained? It's heartbreaking. People are losing their homes and their belongings, their valuables. I know people are doing the best that they can, but it just makes me think about the government and like what we could have been doing earlier before it got to this point. But our first responders have been amazing, and they have been putting their lives on the line for the last 2 days. I just wish that there was more preparedness within our like society, government. Like, who prepares? Who does that?
Please bring me back to 2024. What kind of timeline are we working with right now? Like, holy shit, I don't know if it's just me. Like, what's in the air? Like, 2025 has not been giving. Like, we're literally on fire, quite literally. There's a fire. There's a bird flu, there's another like pandemic coming up, and this app is getting banned. Like, what's going on? Currently, it's giving the last chapter. Like, oh shit.
Hi, good morning. I just had a little bit of a breakdown, I guess. I'm mad. I am so mad. I've been watching some of the TikToks of, I guess, famous people, non-famous people, whatever, semi-famous people, who knows, reality star famous people, talking about how they've lost their home, and they're sitting in their car and they're crying and they're talking about how they've lost their home. I don't care what status you are. I don't care if you live in a shack or if you live in a mansion. Losing your home to a fire is absolutely devastating. They have children. They raise their family there. That's their home, all their possessions. It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, a $10 knickknack or a $500 fucking knickknack. It doesn't matter. It's still your shit. You go into the comments and people have the nerve to sit there and tell her, or tell them anyway, that they have no right to be upset that their house burned down while sitting in their expensive car wearing their expensive scarf. I think it's disgusting. I think it is absolutely disgusting that us as human beings can't understand that losing a home, regardless of how big it is or how much it costs, is sad. It's depressing. It's devastating. I would be devastated if I lost my home. I don't have a lot of money. I would be absolutely fucking devastated. You raise your family in those homes. Your children, all your children's possessions are gone. Everything is gone. People need to learn to go touch grass and stop trying to bring people down just because they made money. They figured out how to get on a reality TV show and make money. And you didn't. You're sitting at home behind your fucking keyboard and you're talking shit about people, kicking them while they're down. Let's try to be better fucking humans in 2025. Thank you. Bye.
I grew up in Southern California. I grew up in El Monte, California, Burbank, California, a little bit in Orange County, and these fires are absolutely devastating. And I saw a story where somebody was sharing that their parents who lived in Altadena had lived in the house for over 60 years. They had the same fire insurance for over 60 years, and recently that insurance was canceled for no reason. Our parents are in their 90s, and so they've been battling trying to fight the insurance company. And now their house burned to the ground. They're in their 90s. They probably aren't even going to have the energy to rebuild, let alone figure out the finances. And this is not the only story. This is not only takes place in homes, but also in medical insurance and every kind of insurance. And I've been incredibly heartbroken and worried. Of course, many of us have, for our friends and family that are going through this fire. And then you think about stories like this, where an elderly couple who is living their last years in the house that they've had for longer than I've been alive, and it burns to the ground, and their insurance company conveniently recently was like, we don't want to cover your house. And then you voted in, some of you, hopefully not people who follow me, but you voted in somebody who is pro shit like that. Pro insurance companies fucking you all over and our families over. It's devastating. This is not the only story like this. It's not gonna end here. And I'm really sending all the love and light to all of you in Southern California who are dealing with this, and also to the families all over the world who have family there who are going through this, because this is devastating not only for the people who lived in those homes, but also to those of us who grew up in the neighborhoods or who watch our loved ones, or, you know, luckily my family's safe, but friends or family lose things. It's just devastating. And my rant is over. I hope you have a good fucking day.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Y'all, I've been hearing from a couple other people and on the news that insurance companies are canceling people's insurance because of all the fires going on and the evacuations. That's insane. Where the fuck is Luigi? Like, someone needs to get a hold of him and like break him out so we get things done. We also call Smokey the Bear. Like, yeah, he's smart. He wears pants and a little cowboy hat, but he's still a fucking bear. Like, just unleash that guy in all these insurance companies' offices, and I'm like, done. People won't lose their homes or property because of a fire. People will be happier. People won't have to sleep in their cars. Just unleash Smokey the Bear in their offices, and I'm like, I'll bet $1,000 he'll get the job done for sure.
Oh my god, what a nightmare.
Okay, I'll be quick. I used to work for insurance companies, and everyone should do this, even if you don't live in California or an evacuation zone. But at least once a year, if not every couple of years, go through your house and record a video and open every single drawer, look at every single piece of makeup, everything, every single shoe you have, every article of clothing, look at all your appliances, everything in your bathroom, the type of TV you have, the type of electronics, everything, and then you're going to email it to yourself or upload it to your Google Drive. And if you ever have to file an insurance claim where it's not a total loss, they'll ask you like to fill out an Excel spreadsheet listing like my Good American jeans, this size, this color, and how much they cost. So that video will be really helpful. But you're supposed to do this and just have that in case something does happen. So I hope this helps. Sorry for everybody going through this. I can't imagine how scary that is.
I live in Southern California, and we are just south of the LA fires, but I was in what was called the airport fire a few months ago, and I posted videos of how like the sky was on fire behind my house, and it was pretty scary. Just before that, my insurance company canceled. And I thought that was really weird that my insurance company canceled. And I don't know if you can see what my screen is doing right now, but that's really weird too. Anyway, but what the insurance company did was cancel our policy. So then I'm calling around to try to find new insurance policies, and they're like, oh, we see that your roof is over 20 years old. I have a clay tile roof. These things are like 50-year roofs. And it's only like they're 25 years old. So it's just games. They're just playing games. And then all of a sudden they cancel all the people through LA County, and then the fires roll through there. And I just think it's all by plan. It's all by design. Somebody knew something. It's kind of like Pelosi and her stocks right before all the stuff happened. It's somebody knows something. Somebody's tipping someone off. And Gavin Newsom can just, go somewhere else, follow Trudeau off the cliff, because I'm done with him too. Love and light though. Just kidding. God bless you. And I hope if you are involved in any of the fires, if you're in the area, if you have family, friends, anybody, I really do pray that they're safe and that their property is safe, but most of all that their bodies and their souls are all intact. So God bless you, and God bless everybody. Have a great week.
Everybody in California, all of my loved ones, all of my friends, all of my family, I'm so sorry for everything that's going on right now. And I just can't wait to watch California rebuild, because the communities there band together, and they're going to band together, and they're going to show you what California love is, and they're going to really bring the community together and fix this. To the insurance companies who canceled Defy Insurance, shame on you. Shame on you. And to everybody that lost so much, I'm so sorry. I really am. I don't believe this fire was a coincidence. Do you?
They need that extra money to rebuild their homes. And you guys know that they need home and fire insurance. And yet, when they really need it, you guys cancel the whole plan. What kind of nonsense is that? Just so you guys can't pay them out. These corporations are so greedy. These people are your customers. They have been paying you guys for months, years. And when it is time for you guys to pay them back a small portion of what they have been paying you guys don't want to do it. You guys canceled the whole insurance plan. What kind of wickedness is that? These insurance companies don't care for anybody else but themselves and their shareholders. And that's about it. That is just crazy to me. How is that legal? How is that even legal?
I'm finding it a little bit difficult to work today because I can't believe that we have been brainwashed as a society so much that we've turned against one another. Meanwhile, we're creating GoFundMe accounts for a 91-year-old man who just lost his home in the LA fires. But insurance companies dropped coverage for a lot of these people in these fire zones because it'd be too much of a liability for them, aka the billionaire CEOs would have lost money. So now these people are left to depend on GoFundMes, and here we are donating our last $20 that we have in our accounts, because God knows in this economy we don't have shit, and somehow these people, these billionaires, have convinced us to turn against one another. It's the liberals and I know, because I'm guilty of this too, right? Especially with the election that just happened, and I have more thoughts on that, but meanwhile, there's these Elon Musks of the world that are sitting in their nice penthouse apartments, continuing to get rich. And again, we're left to donate our last $20 to a 91-year-old man who has lost everything because of greed, because of corporate greed. So for those people that go to bat every day for these billionaires, I just want you to remember one thing. You are closer to being that 91-year-old man or having family become that 91-year-old man who lost everything than you are to becoming the Elon Musk of the world. So the next time that you're sitting up here defending him, why don't you ask yourself, where was he when all these people lost their homes? Where was he you have all these Mike Zuckerbergs hoarding all of this wealth. And meanwhile, we're left to fend for one another. We're left to donate our last $20. And before people hit me with well, people work hard for their money and deserve to do what they want with their money, blah, blah, blah. I just want you to understand, because I don't think you understand what a billionaire is. I'm talking Elon Musk could solve world hunger and it would just be a dent in his bank account. Okay? Just a dent. I don't understand how you can have all of that money and not care enough to do that and not be an evil person. I'm sorry, but it just, I don't know how anyone defends that.
We're really going to find out a lot about the California property insurance market when these fires are over. Because as you might know, California, much like Florida, has a very difficult property insurance market. A lot of companies don't want to insure here, and in neighborhoods like the Pacific Palisades, Malibu, and Altadena and Pasadena, these are already seen as high fire risk areas. And so for the last 2 years, insurance companies have not only non-renewed policies that are existing there, but also chosen not to write new business in those areas. So a lot of homes in those areas have had to go to what's called the California Fair Plan. The California Fair Plan is essentially a private sort of state insurance company that's the insurer of last resort. It's the bottom of the barrel insurance. Homes, whether they're $20 million mansions in the Palisades or $1 million historic homes in Altadena, have been having to go to the California Fair Plan. So I'm going to be really curious once this has all died down to see how homeowners choose to rebuild their home, how they're able to rebuild their home. If they're on the California Fair Plan, you're dealing with essentially the last resort company. So what's that claims process going to be like? What's that rebuild going to be like? If you've got to use your California Fair Plan policy to rebuild a home in the Palisades that costs, I don't know, $3 million to rebuild, sells for 10, what's that process going to be like? Some of those homeowners in the more affluent areas are probably self-insured as well, but this is going to be a really, really interesting aftermath for the California insurance market, and it's going to be even more interesting and probably even more detrimental to homeowners what happens after this.
Happy Mother Loving Wednesday, people. My morning walk this morning was to 7-Eleven to get some coffee because I didn't want my tea this morning. I needed some coffee because the bitch did not sleep at all last night. The sounds of the wind, the smell of the smoke through the apartment. I shouldn't even be fucking walking outside, but my dumbass goals is goals. But like, first and foremost, I hope if you live in LA that you're safe, that your loved ones are safe, or you didn't get affected too much, because this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. A fire over there. There's still an active fire. If you see the smoke coming out from over there. A fire over there by the... Ooh. It's times like this that make you really realize and understand to, like, be grateful for what the fuck you have, y'all. Because in an instant, in a motherfucking instant, shit can really just be, like, taken from you, y'all. Like, that is, like, this is wild. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. And these are what the skies is looking like. Y'all, like, ashes are really falling from the sky right now. I was gonna pick one up to show y'all, but I'm not gonna pick it up. But, like, ashes are legit falling from the sky right now. But that's it, y'all. That's the morning rant. I hope you're safe. Be grateful. And cherish and love on those around you. And cherish and love on the things that you have in your life. That's it.
This message is for those dealing with a fire loss. I called my dad, who's worked in residential insurance his entire life. He's retired now, but I called him and I asked him, what are your tips for somebody dealing with fire loss? There's 3. Number 1, immediately call your insurance company and file a claim. You do not need to know all the answers right now. Just get your name on the list, and because there's going to be a lot of people calling, and your insurance company is really going to appreciate it, like, the sooner you make that phone call. So do not wait. Call them immediately. Number 2, get your hands on the policy.
if you lost it in the fire, your insurance will provide it to you. Read it in detail and specifically look at what you can and cannot claim. Number 3, start writing down everything you own that you can possibly remember. And you might think of something a month from now, but just right now, try to start writing down everything you can remember that you own, your possessions. And you know, the recommendation is try to go like room by room, and don't forget things like your garage or closets and your car and even your backyard, because I know there's a lot of people that have certain possessions in their backyard, right? And then from there, you're going to know what your big ticket items are, and you'll, itemize those. And those are the ones that you will need to try to gather receipts for. Because I think for things like, when I say write down everything, like towels, for instance, you probably don't need receipts for that, but there's probably like a standard amount your insurance company will be like, okay, this is how much they'll get for that. And it just kind of adds up, right? But those big ticket items, you'll do need to go back and track receipts. But it's going to be probably harder than you realize to start remembering everything that you own, right? If you don't have already a documentation of it. And that's it. Those are the 3 things. If you are having to take this advice, I am incredibly sorry for your loss.
You know what's crazy about those fires in LA? I just found out from someone that lives in the city, not a lot of those people have insurance on those houses. The ones that are like 5, 10, 15, $20 million. Bro, insurance companies aren't going to cover a $10 million house in a high-risk area that always has earthquakes, wildfires and fucking crime. I just realized that. So all these people are taking straight L's, man. That's fucked.
It's not a land grab. It's definitely not another land grab. Yes, it's true the insurance companies did change their policies just months ago to say that things like these fires would not be included. But there's a reason, relax. There's a government program that's in place that's going to assist in this matter. So basically, the government's going to step in and offer the remedy that they think suits the situation. And now, these homeowners that are left with nothing after a full loss and no coverage will be left with the options of either accepting the offer from the government or trying to rebuild from their own pocket. I'm not sure how stuff keeps happening like this, or how it's legal, or how nobody's looking at this that can do anything about it. But I really feel for these people out there, and I'm praying for everybody. I really hope somebody that can do something about it sees what's going on and steps in, because this is just absolutely outrageous, and it can't keep happening. Love y'all.
Y'all, I have heard the most disturbing news coming out of California right now. So we all know right now that California is having a major problem with wildfires, especially in Pacific Palisades. Well, the report is that people are coming and saying that just before these fires had started, insurance companies had canceled the portions where it covered fires. Forest fires, wildfires, house fires, they were all canceled. So it makes you think, was these fires something that was a natural disaster, or were they purposely set and the insurance companies were tipped off about it? I don't know, but I want to find out. So if you've heard of anything like that, please let me know, because I truly want to know. And if it is true, we really need to look further into this and hold all those accountable.
Hello. TikTok number 2. I wanted to pop on. I had some questions in my comments from my last video about the canceled fire insurance policies and what I meant by that. So in the summer, State Farm started the summer, early fall. They canceled 72,000 fire policies in that area of California due to increased risk of wildfires and to avoid financial failure. So essentially, they're like, the chances of wildfires are super high and it will bankrupt us, so we're just no longer offering this, and canceled 72,000, almost like all in that area. So like none of that area has fire coverage unless they paid for if they weren't State Farm, maybe they have another insurance agent. Also, there is a state-run program that's like super duper expensive, but it's an option if they are really worried and they wanted it. Yeah, so 72,000 policies were canceled by State Farm in the summer, early fall. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these people and homes even had insurance, and wait until they see that FEMA, Gavin Newsom got up and talked about FEMA is going to come in with aid. FEMA told North Carolina and Tennessee that they were out of money. There's no money left. All of the money went towards sanctuary city illegals and the Ukraine. So wait until all these people that just lost their home in a fire realize that FEMA has no money for them. There's no money to be had, because if there was money to be had, they wouldn't have only given $800 to Western North Carolina people that have lost everything. And even that is, you have to pay it back. And it's just not enough. Like, people can't rebuild homes. And in the case of Western North Carolina and East Tennessee, they didn't have hurricane insurance policies. They didn't have flood policies. They live in the mountains. Why would they have ever thought that they would have needed flood insurance? They don't even offer flood insurance in that area of the country. So, yeah, this will be interesting to watch. I saw that there's lots and lots of, don't politicize this. This is terrible. It's hard to not politicize something when fire department funding was cut due to politics. Bills were canceled and not signed off on because of politics. Hydrants are empty because of politics. They fired all of their best firemen due to not getting the COVID vaccine. Politics. It's hard not to politicize something when every single decision made that gave them zero resources to help in a fire was a political move. I don't know. So Gavin Newsom throwing his hissy fit because Trump called him out on it. I'm sorry. This is your fault. You want to be the governor of California when something horrible happens and the state resources that people pay taxes for the assurance that they're going to have water to put a fire out or firemen to come and help put a fire out are not there. It's hard to say it's not political, and it's hard for us not to blame you for all these people losing everything. So yeah, I will say that a new regulation was passed in December of 2024 that requires insurance companies to offer coverage. So it took that long though, but all the policies were canceled in late summer, early fall. And it wasn't till December that it was passed that they have to offer it. It's not an option. But, too little, too late.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.